Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today's video we're going to give you a bit of a review on the Autel VAG 405 MaxScan scan tool. Now this one, features and benefits. I talked a little bit about this in a video already about scan tools and, watch before you buy. Anyway, this one's specifically geared to working with Volkswagen and Audi cars, several different models, sold worldwide since 1990 and up to present. Okay, now it's going to work with most. It doesn't say all, it does say most. It also reads and erases codes and DTCs of most electronically controlled vehicle modules in other cars other than the Volkswagen and the Audis. Now, a lot of the special tests and that can be run, and certain code clearings and that for, airbags, ABS, transmission, stuff like that. Some of that stuff is going to be available in models other than the Volkswagen and the Audi, perhaps, and a lot of them will not. Now, I've tried this thing out on my Toyota, and I'm going to hook it up for you in a minute to show you what access you get to the 2000 Corolla. Now, I just had this on my buddy's vehicle yesterday on his truck, and he's got a Dodge Dakota. I can't remember the exact model year, but anyways, we weren't allowed access to a lot of tests with it either. So that's the thing. I mean, not all these are going to be able to be accessible, is the bottom line. So if you're looking for a scan tool for like a Dodge or a Ford or Chevy, whatever, that's going to have a lot of these extra cool tests and stuff and features and whatnot, you might want to look at one of the higher end Autel scan tools, or even a scan tool from a different manufacturer. But if you don't mind the fact that this one is going to have some limitations with some vehicles, well, then it's going to be a great machine, and it's still going to work with a lot of those non-import or non-foreign type cars. But if you do have a Volts or an Audi, you're definitely going to want one of these things. My actual goal for buying this was because I owned a 1999 Golf, and I needed a tool for it, and I couldn't get one here, not for cheap anyways, and even the $300 Innovas were incapable of working with my Volkswagen. And so, what are you going to do? And I picked this one up at banggood.com for about 41 bucks or 42 bucks. It was under 50 bucks with free shipping. So I thought, hey, why not? But then we sold the Volts. By the time this thing came in, we actually used it as a trade-in and got our Corolla. And so, which really, who cares? I needed a scan tool anyway. And it does work with the Corolla. So I'm going to just stop the video here for a minute, and we'll go to the car and hook it up and show you how this thing works. Okay guys, so we're out in the Toyota right now, and I've plugged my scan tool in, and I still haven't turned on my ignition, so that's good because I know I got power coming from my connector to the unit, because the connector actually powers the unit. You don't need batteries for this, which is really bonus. Now, the version of the software being run on this is 2.7. There's a lot of guys that have this tool that have 2.2 and they're looking for a 2.7 update. I've talked to Autel and they have nothing, which really, that kind of bothers me a little bit. I mean, hey, it's their product. I mean, support it. Meanwhile, they do have updates for other scanners, but for some reason not this one. But this is the same 405 scanner, except this newer one comes with the 2.7 already installed. I don't know, maybe it was just less hassle for them to make a new scanner with the software already there. But even I had a heck of a time looking around for updates for it, and I talked to them about it, and I says, what about updates? And, well, there's nothing right now anyway. But 2.7 is the most current version, just so that you're aware. So when you're going to go looking at buying this from any of the websites online, a lot of them will actually list what version of the software is with it. Those that don't, you might want to, but I mean, I bought this from Banggood, and I don't recall it saying about being at 2.7, so, but rest assured, more than likely, you buy this from Banggood, and it's going to have 2.7 on it. But there are sites that actually do specifically say it has the 2.7 on it. So, on with it. Volkswagen Audi scanner, obviously, but it does work with many other vehicles, too. So let's turn our ignition on. Dashboard's lit. Now this is a scan tool that does not have live data streaming, so don't start your engine and run your engine when you're running this thing. Just turn the ignition to on and that's it. Press the Y button on the tool, so for yes. Now you got your choices. Main menu, VW Audi, if you have one of those. OBD2 and EOBD2, or EOBD, sorry. Oil service and system setup. Now system setup is pretty basic on this. You get access to contrast, display test for checking burnt pixels, keyboard test, make sure all your keys are functioning properly, and unit of measure. And unit of measure, just so you know, is English or metric. Okay, press the N button or no to go backwards. Now, because we're not in a Volkswagen or an Audi, we're going to go to selection 2. So you just use your up and down buttons to scroll, and then press Y to enter, and it'll start linking to the computer. It's going to go through all the different protocols that it has in its list, and there's at least 6 or 7 of them in this scan tool. There's quite a few that it goes through, because it has to find the one for your vehicle to talk to it, and it sets up the perimeters according to your vehicle. And that'll also, you know, say what you get access to and what you don't, too, for all those cool features that they list on the website on it. Okay, so link to the vehicle using that one. Read codes. Reading codes. No codes are stored in the module. Press any key to continue. So there's nothing wrong with my car, obviously, so we know that. Erasing codes, well, you could, but there's no codes to erase, so we're all good. And that's the basics on how this thing operates. Now the oil service thing, that's something that if you have that sort of a feature, you have choices of the Audi, the VW, the Seat, and the Skoda, up to 2,000. Or you can go all, and it'll give you into another section where it can auto detect, and you can select long life oil, non-long life oil, set up inspection intervals. Now I already know I can't use any of these features on my car. I tried it and it fails to connect to that part of the computer because that part of the computer doesn't exist in the 2000 Toyota Corolla. So, you know, you just keep an eye on your oil and, you know, change it every so many thousand kilometers or whatever the dealer recommends and go from there. Where people that have cars, like we had a 2006 Pontiac Pursuit once, and with that car it actually had a thing on the dash and it had a countdown thing from 100% down, and as soon as it got to the bottom, and of course it gives you a warning when you're, I guess, around 5 or 10%, and then it would tell you that it's time to change it soon, and as soon as you got to 0, it would just keep bugging the hell out of you until you did. And then of course you'd have to reset that feature as well. Now that was done either by a scan tool or 2-button combination on the dashboard. But anyways, so that's the scan tool, that's the basic operations. Hooked up to a Toyota, and it does work. You know, we had it on my buddy's Dodge there yesterday when he was over and checking it out, and we found a bunch of stuff wrong with his. There's actually 7 in the list total that had come up for problems, and so you got to attack it from that point on. And it does give you the code and a definition, you know, but if you want a more in-depth definition, if one's available, you can always do a Google search and check the internet. But otherwise, what comes up on the screen is usually more than adequate anyways. So for a good do-it-yourselfer thing, or, you know, if you run a small little business like I do out of your home and you fix cars and all that sort of jazz, this is a pretty handy little machine. And there are others that I'm going to be picking up over the next little while too that have more and more features to them, and because I've been doing a lot more checking on stuff, and I want to check out some of these Bluetooth ones and ones that hook direct to your laptop deal, and, you know, try those ones out because they apparently offer a lot of stuff that this one perhaps doesn't. But we're going to see what kind of features we actually do get access to in the other ones too that we don't get access on this one with this car, because I want to get the most access as possible even on my own car, you know. So, but well worth the money well spent, and I'm not regretting this purchase whatsoever, you know, and I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of this thing. So you know, it's definitely a tool that can pay for itself, that's for sure. So anyway, if you got any questions or you know, comments, feel free to leave them, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.